Hi, everyone, and welcome to From Piece by Piece, the Piece by Piece podcast. I'm your host, Niobe Raimnet, also known as Miss Voluptuous Suriname 2025, and founder of Piece by Piece, which is a platform designed to help young people explore their identity and use their voice to make real impact. In each episode, I speak with inspiring changemakers who are turning their personal puzzle pieces, their stories, their experiences, and their values into action. Today, I am joined by two creative powerhouses who are taking the pageant world by storm in the most iconic way. Here are Arianne and Zarko, the visionary duo behind Ethereal Royalty. Hello!
Hi, Diva. What up?
Hey, Queen, how are you?
Well, I'm good. It's very hot in here, and I'm kind of tired because it's been a long week. But I'm very excited.
I'm excited too. We're gonna wait for Zarko to join and then we can get into the interview. How are your nerves so far?
Wait, what? What? Sorry, I was listening to what you said. What exactly did you say, Queen?
No problem. How are your nerves so far? Because normally you are on the other side.
I will say I'm doing pretty fine. I mean, I don't really have a problem talking. I mean, it's kind of what I do all the time. So I'm not really nervous. I'm actually kind of excited to talk about me for once. It's pretty cool.
Fun. I'm also excited. Well, let's see if Zarko joins us fast. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
So nice to see you. I don't think we've actually met, so that's really nice.
And we haven't. It's so lovely to finally put a face to the name.
Yeah, same goes for you. Well, we're gonna dive right into the interview. If you're ready, of course. Are we?
Oh, so we're ready. Go for it.
Amazing. Okay, so for our first segment of the interview, it's all about who you guys are, the faces behind Ethereal Royalty. So first off, could you two introduce yourselves in 3 words? We'll start with Arianne.
Oh, well, this is a good one. And I think out of all the questions, this one made me question the most. I would say I'm creative, I am very chaotic, and passionate, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Love that. Okay, Zarko, you're next.
I would say ambitious, level-headed, and calm.
Okay, I love that. And I think that makes you guys a great duo because you level each other out. Love that. Speaking of a good duo, could you tell us, please, could you tell us how this duo came about? Like, how did Ethereal Royalty start? How did you guys meet? We want the entire story.
Well, who's gonna answer this one?
Go for it. I feel like you have better articulation than I do, so go for it.
Well, let's just go back to 2019 because that's where we first met. And we actually both were more so into the pop culture vibe. You know, we had art accounts. And I remember you posted a story, "Help, I need more friends." And I replied, "Well, hi, what up?" And we just started talking and talking. And then the pandemic came and we talked all day long because, well, we were at home and didn't do anything all day. And he introduced me to pageantry because of his sister. So he's kind of to blame for my intense pageant obsession. But luckily, we're both in it, and we decided to start an account at Their Royalty. But I have to say all credits to him because it was his idea. And also the name was his idea. So all credits to you.
I love that.
And now
Yeah,
we're here.
100%.
I think it was such a I don't even remember half of it. I think our history goes back like you said, quite a while ago. Yeah, it's so interesting to think. I think COVID was such an interesting time. It was such an interesting, space to be in. And
Mhm.
I never thought that like an international friendship would blossom from that. So I think that's incredible that we were able to do that. And I mean, as for pageantry, I think because we did like editing, like we did creative editing back in the day. And I think our love from pageantry, because that time it was 2019, South Africa just won Miss Universe, Zozibini. She just won. And it was such an exciting time for us. And I just had to share that with her because I think that was around the time when we really started chatting more and everything. And yeah, we did like an edit with I think it was Catriona, Demi Lee, and Zozi when we like named it the Mickey Moto Queens. And yeah, it was just like a roller coaster from there on where we just dived into the creative space of blogging, pageantry, and starting up like support pages for you queens essentially.
Oh,
I
I love
still have
that
that
so much.
framed. That edit we talked about, I have it framed. Like I'm looking at it right now.
It's so cool.
That's so cute. I love that so much, and I'm sure that when you posted that post about like not knowing, like needing more friends, you had no idea that this was gonna blossom into what you are
100%.
today, right?
100%, especially in the sense of like, because in South Africa, I think pageantry, as big as it is, and thanks to our success in the IMG era in Miss Universe, I think it is also still something that people didn't quite understand at the time, if that makes sense. It
Mhm.
was like still a new thing, like, oh, you know, what are these beauty competitions? So it was wonderful that I got to bond with someone who understood the pop culture scene because they kind of do go hand in hand in a way, and like the entire entertainment industry is just something that fascinates me a lot. Like I'm into Broadway, I'm into musicals. So like anything that's super like entertainment based is very like, you know, there's something special about it. And I'm glad I found someone that we can like share with. And yeah, it
Oh,
was
that's
incredible experience.
beautiful. I myself also have international friends who I met online just because of our shared interests in Broadway, to be exact.
Love
So
that. Love
I
that.
fully understand what you're talking about. I love that so
100%.
much. Okay,
Yeah.
so now that we know the full story, could one of you tell me a bit more about the image of ethereal royalty for the people who don't know what ethereal royalty means, what you stand for, and what you're trying to accomplish? I'll have
You
you
want to go?
tell me, Ariana.
Okay, well, what it stands for, I think, like we talked about, like for South Africa and both the Netherlands, pageantry isn't really, well, the biggest scene in our countries. And I think our mission has always been, aside from supporting all the queens, to really make pageantry bigger in our countries and sharing more with the world, which has been a huge success because, well, we've been media partners for many pageants in our country. We've got to share a lot of videos on TikTok as well because we've been going viral on TikTok for the past few weeks. And
Love
it's
that.
amazing to see that. And I think also to spread kindness and to show the world, like, hey, pageantry, it's not irrelevant. It's still a very big thing in our countries and it's everywhere. So go join.
100%.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
still remember the day when I got your text. I'm not sure who of you sent it to me, but I got this little text when I was doing my first pageant ever, very new to the whole industry, and it was this very sweet text of you both that was just saying how you're supporting me, and if I need something, I can just tag you. And it starts from something so small, but we do really feel seen by you guys. So I feel like you are accomplishing exactly what you set out to accomplish. So congrats on that.
Yeah, that was always the mission. I think, you know, we started this out for visibility essentially because, like I said, I know so many. My sister competed for what, 8 years now, if I'm not mistaken. I think she started in 2016, 2017. And it's just like you like queens, you girls, you like put your whole vulnerability out there. You know, you bare yourself to the world. And yeah, I think especially in South Africa and Netherlands, like the support has picked up since then, which is amazing to see because in the past, I think we were one of the first pages that started out supporting pageantry in our countries, if I'm not mistaken. I know that in South Africa we had the pageant prince who was doing like a lot of stuff for South Africa, but it's only in recent years that like we've seen lots of pages pop up, and I know like Empress House popped up, Miss SA fandoms, all things Miss SA. So like that's so incredible to see that because we started something up, you know, and got inspired from one another, we can create a community for our country. So I think that's really important and really special.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And I don't want anyone to think that less of that, because what you're doing really is making an impact. So that's
Yeah.
exactly why I wanted you on the podcast, because this whole podcast is about making impact,
Yeah.
especially on your young ages. So yeah, you're doing great. Moving on to the next thing, though, I asked both of you to fill in my workbook. Well, one of the three. And I'd like to dive into your mirror page because I saw some big differences in the way you filled them in, and I'd really like to know how the way that you are viewed by the public is now maybe different from what you had before. And I'd like you to like share your mirror page with us and then tell us. So, Zarko, if you'd like to start.
Yeah, sure. So on my mirror page, and once first before starting off, wonderful initiative. I love your book, your workbook. It's such an
Thank
incredible
you.
thing that you've put out into the world. So on my page, I think I put a picture that I found on Pinterest a few days ago, and I feel like it resonated exactly with what I've been trying to do, throughout the last 5 years. I was a very different person 5 years ago. And I put that, be kind, because your kindness is like a mirror image of who you are.
Hmm.
And I think that's so important. The way you treat others really reflects back on yourself, and like think what goes around comes around. So for me, it was so important to start living a life where, because I had so much, anger towards the world because a lot of personal things happened in my life, but just knowing that everything happens for a reason. And if you can just like take any circumstance that comes your way, positive or negative, grow from that, learn from that, and turn it into a kindness. It's a teaching. You can really learn from your mistakes, learn how to turn any negative situation into a positive, and essentially just treat people with kindness. We're here for one time only. And the impression you leave once you leave this earth, and someone said it like perfectly. I was in a hair class this past week, which is a new adventure we'll talk about.
Love that.
And, someone said that in her culture, when you attend a funeral, right, you want people to say, like, oh, she was such a good person, or he was such a good person. You don't want people to say, oh, thank goodness that person has passed away. Get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it sounds very crude, but essentially that's what you want to leave when you leave this earth. You want people to remember you for the good you put out into the world.
Yeah, I fully understand. And I think you're doing a great job so far. So keep on doing what you're doing. And we will be talking about that hair class because now I'm curious.
100%.
Okay, Ariana, now on to you. Your mirror page. If you have it with you, I'd love for you to show it because it's so beautiful.
Well, I have ADHD, so put it somewhere, and I have absolutely no idea where I left it.
No problem.
Um, but I first have to say, I think the way you articulated your answer was absolutely beautiful. So talking about my mirror page now feels kind of illegal because you have such a good point, and people can really learn from that. Because what I did for my mirror is I wrote a star with myself in front of it. That's kind of because through my career kind of in pageantry and interviewing, I've realized I really love the entertainment world, and I just want to do that for the rest of my life, entertain people in many ways possible, whether it be interviews, acting, all of that stuff. And I think along the way, like, I've learned to love it. Especially in the beginning, I was really scared because I remember, frankly, we had to go our first interviews together about 2 years ago, and that was really scary. Probably like one of the scariest things I've ever had to do. But now I'm loving it, and I want to continue with that for the rest of my life.
I love that. And I love that you found, no, essentially your purpose through pageantry and through what you're doing right now. So I love that. And you get to do it with one of your best friends next to you. So that makes it even more beautiful, I think, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the biggest honor in my life because, no matter what happens in life, you always have that person with me. And I just know, like, us two, like, we're meant forever. Like, we're soulmates until we very die, even after that. So I think that's the biggest gift of everything. Despite how much I love
Yeah.
entertainment, having him is like,
Just going back to what you said earlier about how different our pages are. it's also a thing of like it's different, but it's the same at the same time because I feel like knowing, you want to be a star, you want to be in the entertainment industry, that's a form of being kind to yourself, believing in yourself, knowing that I have the ability to, you know, use my star quality or my, charming personality to spread kindness into the world. I think that is a beautiful thing. There's nothing as beautiful as being kind to yourself because when you
Yes,
start being kind to yourself and believing in yourself, it's just a chainable reaction from there. So
I
I
totally agree.
100%, as much as it's different, I also think that things in life, like opposites, there's always a part that like intertwines the two, if that makes sense. And I
Mm-hmm.
think, yeah, that's a really beautiful perspective that I like that, you've found enough. Because a lot of the time, people they'll be like, oh, this is such an ambitious dream, or this is, like you're being ridiculous about your dreams. And I think that being kind to yourself, just being like, thank you so much, I acknowledge you that you feel that this is a difficult path I've chosen. It's so important in those times to be kind to yourself and understand that, I can achieve this. So
Yes.
I really love that like
And I
difference.
love that you said that because it's exactly what Piece by Piece stands for. I believe that like starting to accept your full identity is your way of making an impact on
Definitely.
society. And it's something I had to learn as well because luckily, like no, not luckily, frankly, I wasn't always very well, very confident and very sure of myself and being able to achieve my dream. I've always been a big dreamer. I always had big goals, but I didn't always believe that I could make them happen until I actually started working towards that and started to work towards telling myself that yes, I do have a point of doing the things that I'm doing and I can make them happen. So what you're
Oh,
saying is completely valid.
and it's such a journey. It's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. Like you said,
Mhm.
it's really taking it step by step and just it's a self-acceptance journey. It's like understanding that you're tapping into this higher power or you're tapping into this, you know, higher self essentially because that's what you want to achieve. And once you tap into that energy, it's such a beautiful thing to see, how I don't know, I'm a very religious person, so I believe in God. And I think that it's wonderful that once you accept that part about yourself and you like tap into that higher energy that you have, like God just opens so many doors for you. I
Yeah.
always believe that, when one door shuts on you, another opens, and sometimes it's even better than what you were chasing before. So I love that for you. Your story is very inspiring.
Thank you so much. Well, speaking of my story, we're going to go on to your stories now. Because I'm gonna talk a bit more. Well, you're gonna talk a bit more about your purpose behind Ethereal Royalty. We now know how you started, what your message behind it was. But I'd like to know how you would like people to feel when they engage with your content, when they see you at a pageant event. What do you want them to leave that conversation with?
Okay,
Your
first,
turn.
who's gonna answer? I think you're pretty good at answering this, so you're just gonna go ahead, man.
Go for it. I feel like I answered the first time previous question, so you go for it.
Go ahead, Ariana.
I honestly, how would they would like to feel when they engage with us? I want them to feel seen because I think, like we've talked about before, in our countries, it's not always very common to have a lot of support pages, though it
Mhm.
has been growing. But I just want pageant queens to feel seen, especially after knowing, Miss World South Africa personally as well. You know how much it takes to compete. It's not an easy task. It's not like, okay, let's just quickly do this and get over it. It's a whole journey in your life, and it would mean so much if someone is there supporting you. So I think that's our purpose and how we want people to feel when they think about us and engage with us. And when they see us, they also just feel seen and welcomed and get a friendship bracelet.
Yes, because we're gonna dive right into that friendship bracelet thing. Like, I remember being present at the finale where you launched that. Could you tell us what brought up that idea and how it's going so far? Because I think you're doing it for like a year now, right? Like, tell me more about it.
Well, I think we've all seen the friendship bracelets at the Taylor Swift tour, the Eras tour, and how everyone has been exchanging those. And I thought it was a super cute idea. And I tried it at another concert. I think it was Olivia Rodrigo's concert, but it didn't really work because I was pretty awkward and I didn't really get any bracelet. And I thought, what if I could just like give them out at a pageant? Like, would that be kind of weird? Would that kind of work out?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole idea. So I spent a lot of time making many bracelets
Mm-hmm.
because do not get fooled. It takes a lot of time to make one. It actually takes like 10, 15 minutes to make one bracelet. So let alone making 50 of them. It
A
was a whole
lot.
job. But then Serena, she saw my idea and she was like, well, girl, I'm hosting Miss Teen. How about we include a segment on the show? And I said, sure, let's go for it. And it was so cute because it really worked out. Ever since I've been doing it, and wherever I go at every Dutch pageant, the girls are wearing a bracelet, and I think that's really cute.
And let's not downplay this because they've been going global. So it's not just, yeah, like you're doing something, you're making waves. And I think that not only your interviews, but also the fact that you give the queen something to hold on to, that's something that actually like um shows us even more how you want us to be seen and how you want us to feel supported. I'm not wearing mine today, but I wear it every day just as a reminder of like, yeah, I have people on my side. See, even Stefan wears his, so it says a lot.
I can see who's watching. Is there any people? Because I only
Well,
see one
Stefan said
person.
something really nice just now. I think you should know. He said, Ariana gives a very positive vibe every time we talk or meet. So
No.
much
Always.
love and no bad attitude. So that says a
No,
lot.
you really are. She's one of the most positive people I know. So no, that's so incredible. And just backtracking a little bit to what you said earlier about wanting them to be seen. And we briefly spoke about my sister. So yeah, when she won Miss World South Africa, it was such a difficult thing for me because I think now I got to see both sides, right? I got to see what it's like to be a fan and what it's like to actually be part of a team that preps for one of the biggest pageants in the world. And, you know, people take being seen for granted. They really do because they don't see the behind the scenes stuff. Like, I mean, every time you get a comment like about your body or, oh, you need to lose weight or this or that, you don't see the, effect it has on people behind the scenes.
Hmm.
And it doesn't just affect one person. Like, I know because when she competed, she got a lot of criticism because of her height, because she wasn't as tall as the other girls, because people called her fat or whatever the case might be. And it was so hard for me as a brother and a pageant fan to sometimes hold back, because sometimes you're just like, oh, we all love to be internet warriors, you know what I mean? And it's so difficult in that moment to backtrack and just remember why I'm doing this. Like, why, like, that's the entire reason Ethereal started. We want queens to be seen for more than just this, because this fades over time. Our
Yeah.
beauty fades, our youth fades. What we have on the inside is so important. And that's what I love about Ethereal is it's not like we support everyone. It's not about the most famous or the most beautiful. It's about I love working with queens with heart and soul.
Hmm.
I can tell you stories about women who have changed my life through their pageant journeys because they just, like I said, you bare yourself to the world. And it's so important to remember that those are people. They deserve to be seen. They deserve to be heard. They are not our dolls to put on display and make comments about. And I think that is, yeah, that point blank period, that is what Ethereal Royalty's mission is to remind everyone these are people. They are not your
Yes.
dolls. They are not your Barbie dolls or your porcelain dolls to poke at when you please.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of this.
Amen to that. Like as a
Yeah,
plus size queen, I have felt the rough
100%.
side of it all as well. So, like I already said, when I got your message, when I was doing my first pageant ever, it meant so much to me because I still felt at that point like I didn't belong in this world. I felt like I was just a diversity vote. They wanted me just so they could say, look, we have a black plus size girl on our stage. We're doing so well. But then when I saw your support and I actually saw that there were more people engaging in the story that I was telling and the work that I was doing, I actually started to believe, yes, I do belong and I
You
am
do.
doing a great job. And it's stories like those that need to be heard. So I think it's so beautiful that you
Exactly.
actually take an effort into like seeing them and sharing them. That's so meaningful. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. Like it means a lot to us.
No, and your journeys mean so much to us. I mean, like I said, so many count like your stories. I had a lot of like issues with my appearance a few years back. So that's so inspiring to me, like that you were able to acknowledge that that space that was given to you is not a diversity vote. The world is changing. You belong. The space God gave you on this like world, it matters. You're here for a reason. You're here to do something of significance.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I'm trying to do my best with the chances I'm given. So,
No.
thank you so much. Okay, I have another question. We're gonna make it a little bit more light because we're diving into some really deep, deep stuff right now. I want to talk about something more personal. Ariana, we all know you for your style and your fashion forward look. I always compliment you on your makeup and stuff like that. But could you tell me a bit more about how your creative identity has shaped your look into being such well, a media icon? Like how do those two like go hand in hand?
Well, I think what we talked about earlier about the mirror image, I wrote a star and myself in it, and that I love entertainment. And one thing I've learned is that you want to stand out, and this was for me the perfect opportunity to use my creativity because in the past, I was afraid to show that because you want to blend in with the others, so you kind of hide it. And I felt like, just go for it. And I love how I can sort of combine that with pageantry because one thing that happened to me 2 weeks ago is that someone at the finals of Miss Beauty, they came to me and they said, look, I did a blue eyeshadow and I was inspired by you. And I thought that was so amazing. I was like, wait, hold on. I inspired you to do that. Like just me being myself and being creative inspires others. And another example was a girl at Miss Grand. She also came to me and she was like, I love your creativity. I think it's beautiful how you are yourself. I've been bullied a lot and you inspired me to join a pageant. And I was like, girl, stop it. Like, I think that's so beautiful. So I love how that can kind of go hand in hand, even though at first it doesn't seem very logic. But I can make anything happen.
Well, you're doing amazing. Like actually, like even like style aside, whenever I see you, I always think, look, there's my pageant bestie. And of course we have become friends, but whenever I introduce you to new people, I always tell them that's gonna be your pageant bestie because that's really who you are. And it's also what you show the people like around you. So you're doing a great job at that. And now that we know a bit more about like your image, I'd also like to dive into Zarko because we already know that you are someone's brother who is in pageantry. So at least she's doing amazing, by the way. I'm so proud of the things she's done this year. But I do wonder how it is to be someone well looking in from the outside, especially since well you yourself are a man, and that's different in pageantry. So how is that for you?
Like I mentioned earlier, it was super challenging. Like I won't lie to you, the entire experience had its ups and its downs.
Mhm.
Firstly, it was the whole thing of your family dynamic changing. So in South Africa, Miss Universe and Miss World are the most, investigated pageants. People are the most invested about those two. And it
Mhm.
was difficult because your family kind of becomes a public spectacle now. Nothing is private anymore. Everyone knows everything about your business. They like check into everything. So that part was very difficult. Like going to a mall is not easy anymore because like when you're walking with her, she pulls attention. You know what I mean? Like she pulls attention, and that was a very challenging part for us to accept that we're no longer, like private. We don't have the privilege of having our private life anymore because it comes with the crown. It's a part of the
Mhm.
responsibility. It's a part of um you know the entire job description. So that was a very challenging part for us, and I think in Miss World as well, it was, I mean, South Africa, Miss World South Africa organization is still a very new organization. They are still growing. So it was very challenging to, essentially we're a very small team, powerful team, but a small team. So to put everything together for a big pageant like Miss World was super challenging. But I think that the biggest takeaway from the entire thing is that that pressure that you feel was a privilege because and Miss World 1974 from South Africa actually reached out and she, wrote something very beautiful saying that, you know, not many women get to walk this journey. Like it's really a handful, a select full of women that get to walk this journey, compete in something like Miss World.
Yeah.
And it's, my sister didn't place in the competition, which was another very tough thing for us to work through and to process and to understand why. Because, in your heart, you really do have that, you have a dream. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to be Miss World or I want to, and sometimes things don't work out and it's for a reason. And I think that walking that journey was really a privilege. I mean, she's turning 20 this year. When she won Miss World South Africa, she was 18. So that was a lot of responsibility on a
Huh.
teenager's shoulders, essentially. And
Yeah.
I think yeah, that was challenging for our family because, like I said, people have no filter on the internet. They say whatever they want. They have their own assumptions, but they don't realize that there's a person behind that screen. So
Mhm.
looking into it from that perspective, seeing how difficult and taxing it was on, not just my sister, but our entire family was hard. Like,
Mhm.
as much as that pressure you feel is a privilege, you also have to know like where to draw the line, where to draw the boundary, and just be, you know, people again. Remember
Yeah.
that you're a person, you're not this machine. Like, as much as you have the nation on your shoulders, you're still just a person. You have to take care of your needs. So yeah, I would say the whole journey it was filled with positives. It was filled with less positive moments, but it was a wonderful adventure for our entire family, for like everyone involved in the team, even Ariana.
Mhm.
It was a wonderful thing to experience to get to say I went to Miss World. I got to see the show live. That was incredible. It was such a full circle moment. I didn't think in my life I would ever see a Grand Slam show live in person, and I think that was incredible. It was like, regardless of everything that happened, we have to remember that that privilege we got just to go to that show, participate in something like Miss World, was
Yeah.
incredible. So that made all the negative moments and all the less positive moments so worth it. But yeah, the ultimate takeaway for me as an outsider looking into this was just to remind people that those queens are people. Behind
Mhm.
that screen there is a person, and as much as they put up a strong face for you to show, I'm here, I am Miss World South Africa, I'm here to represent our nation, remember that soldier, that force of a woman you're seeing still has a heart, she still has feelings, and sometimes they aren't as strong as they look. They also have emotions, they have their vulnerable moments, and
Yeah.
that doesn't make them weak, but it's just to, like, don't kick someone when they're down, essentially. I
No.
think, yeah, that's the entire scope of it all. It was a journey filled with ups and downs, and that's life. That's just how life is. So that's what I would say. It was to give you a bit of perspective on that. It's such a too many emotions to talk about in one session.
I understand.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
sounds like a lot indeed, and especially as like someone's brother, you of course are seeing everything that's happening, and you probably care a lot more than the person themselves because they are very critical on what they are doing, and you are just caring about the person behind it all.
exactly,
So
exactly.
I can fully understand how you feel. Like for people who know me a bit better, they probably have seen my mom as well, and she is the exact same. I call her my momager, and she's also a person looking in from the outside,
Yeah.
and she already thinks that what I'm doing is a
Mhm.
lot and sometimes too much because I have so
Yeah.
much on my plate. So I fully understand. Um, what I did wanna ask about, and this is a bit like a more fun thing to talk about. I think you are one of the designers of one of the dresses your sister wore. How was that? Because I understand that it's a lot, but as a designer, that's
It
probably
was
has to be
so cool. I think that was
right.
an incredible experience for me. It was such a chainable reaction once again. I mean, I have
Yeah,
an exciting project coming up. I can't speak about it yet, but it's like I never thought in a million years that I would be doing this. And
do we get
yeah,
a little hint maybe?
well, I'll just say that I will be heading to Thailand in November. So if you're gonna piece
Ooh.
together, you can do that, but it's gonna be incredible. I'm super excited to be a part of someone's journey again. Yeah, that's all I'll say for now, but it's gonna be incredible. Yeah, it's gonna change the scope, I believe, of pageantry with this woman's story. She's so inspiring. She is beautiful. She just exudes everything it means to be a powerhouse woman, to be, be a change maker, be a leader in this world. So I'm super excited to be a part of that journey. It's gonna be really incredible.
I can't wait to find out more. And that also brings us to our last like actual interview section before we have the peace mission. Okay, so you guys have built a big community of queens of all backgrounds, and you of course are the media partner for my pageant, Miss Voluptuous International. Um, could you tell me? I'm gonna ask you, Ariana, what inclusivity specifically in the pageant space means to you.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think inclusivity is so important because a lot of people still have this very outdated negative mindset when it comes to pageantry that
Mhm.
you have to be the skinniest model of all, the tallest, you have to be blonde, blue eyes, but it's not. It's so different. And I think, especially in the Netherlands, we have so much inclusivity. And I'm talking about all ages are welcome. Married women are welcome, plus size queens are welcome, people of color are welcome. Everyone can compete in a pageant if they want to. And for me, it's also so important because we have to get away from that stereotype. Everyone is beautiful in their own way and it needs to be represented. Well, not just nationally, but internationally, to be honest. I mean, I'm not a pageant queen, but of course, you look up to people when you're younger and you're asking yourself, why is there no one like me on the TV screen or on the stage? And I'm happy that we now have the opportunity to change that. And I think for us as media partners, we also play a big part because if it happens, we have the honor of sharing that with the world.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm also super excited to get to see you guys like in England with me. I'm so excited for October and I'm so excited that you're going to be there too. And I'm just very happy that amazing people like you are the ones that are chosen to do something like this, because sometimes you have media sources that aren't as kind to the people they are publishing about. So it means a lot to have you guys do it.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
trying our best.
You're doing great, really. Okay, next question. Um, I was also wondering what moment or milestone in this whole journey with Ethereal royalty was one of those moments that made you want to stop and say, wow, this is actually happening. This is actually real. We're going to you, Sarko.
Oh, that's such a difficult question because I believe it was like a entire this entire thing was built out of such magical moments, and I think there's not one thing that's more significant than the other. I don't know. For me, every queen we get to interact with, if I mean Ariane got to do interviews with Victoria and with Miss Supranational. That's so cool. I mean, that's insane. Um I think for me, I would say something that was really significant to me is that I got to connect with amazing queens from South Africa. So I think even through my sister, it was incredible. I got to hear more about our current Miss South Africa story, Mia. She is, she has a hearing impairment. So I think her story is so powerful, so beautiful. So I think just connecting with people, that's for me. Every time I get to hear a new story, every time I get to interact with a new queen, it's such a like wow, I feel inspired. This woman makes me want to stand up in the morning, get my shit together, and just push. Like, yeah, I think that's for me a moment like of wow, this is incredible.
Amazing. And that's essentially what we pageant queens strive to achieve in the people that are
100%.
following us. So that means a lot. What about you, Ariana? What made you stop and say, wow, this is real?
Oh, I think, like you said, I think it's a buildup of so many moments. I mean, a lot of interactions with queens. First of all, Miss Supranational, what the heck? Then Miss Universe, what do you mean? And then also a month ago, Miss Earth, which is crazy, but I think it's not just them, it's so many queens that I get to talk to from so many countries. And also another moment that is so proud, and especially the Dutch ones know it because, well, Zoe Lee, she's quite a name here in the Netherlands too, because when she won Miss South Africa, Miss World South Africa, it was also a moment for me. Like, this also feels like an achievement for me because I have known her for so many years as well. Because, well, it's her his sister, and I also got to really connect with her. So it also felt like my win, and getting to be a part of her journey was an honor. So thank you for that, for letting me be a part of the journey and rooting for her, seeing her on TV. I'm like,
No,
that's
and
also something.
that's incredible. I think Zwali sees you as a sister, like she really does. I think, yeah, we have such a special friendship. It's really amazing to think that this thing started with a dream. Like, I remember we had endless phone calls. I was like, oh shit, do you think she's gonna be able to do it? Like, it was crazy. It was just like, yeah, no, it was like such a lead up of amazing moments, and I think, yeah, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was, yeah, it's been incredible.
And even
Really?
just seeing you guys talk here, and you're not even necessarily talking to each other, I can already see how much your friendship means to each other,
Yeah,
and just how wonderful that connection is that you guys made. And just
true.
to think that it all started with a post saying, "I need more friends." That's insane.
100%. 100%.
It's time to go to the last part of the podcast. It's time for our mini piece challenge. And this is your little chance to give our listeners a little piece of advice or a little challenge they can try this week. So if you could tell anyone who is listening right now what you would like them to do, go ahead. And I'll leave it up to you who's gonna tell me.
You go.
Oh, I still have to think. For this answer, I think I might just steal your quote, be kind because life is a mirror. And we talked about how it's not just about being kind to others, but also being kind to yourself. I think it's so important, especially nowadays, society is really tough. There's so much negativity around you, not just on social media, but I think everywhere you go. So it's important to be kind. Like, look in the mirror and tell yourself, like, hey, I look good, I'm doing amazing. Do some crazy posing sessions. Girl, go take some pictures and tell yourself, like, hey, you look hot.
100%.
Yeah, that would be the challenge, I like to say.
That. I love that so much. I think I mention this every episode, but I am a big supporter of affirmations every morning. No
Ooh.
one ever believes me, but I actually like my mirror is over there, and I stand before it every morning, 5 minutes, and I just tell myself, "Wow, look at you." Oh, and it really helps. It really helps to start your day on a positive note. So I love that. Like, make pictures, give yourself some compliments. That's a great one. Do you want to add to that, Sarko?
Oh, yeah, I would say for me, um, like I said, I'm a very ambitious person. So just like, I don't know, I really believe in callings, and like even with like my hair journey, like I started doing hairstyling now, which is completely different from like my fashion career. Do that thing that like you've always been scared to do, or do that thing that you're like questioning, like, why did I get this idea? Like, I really believe that life puts you on a path, and when that idea pops up, it might just be your $1 million idea. So do that thing that you're scared of, follow through with your initiative and with your like gut feeling, because that really, it can change your world, can change your entire scope of life. Like, I mean, even with me taking this leap of faith, it changed my life. I didn't think that in the next 2 to 3 months that are going to be following, I didn't think my life would take that direction, and it's going to be incredible. I can't wait to share more with you all. So my last piece of advice would just be like, take that leap of faith, and that gut feeling that you have, it's there for a reason. Follow your
Mhm.
intuition.
I love that. And
Yeah,
I'd love to end the episode with that because I completely agree with you. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you
thank you
for
for
being
having
so
us.
open, for sharing your story, and for taking the time of your day to be here and talk about it. And to our
Wonderful.
listeners, thank you for being here, for listening, for wow, I can't even talk anymore. For sending us small comments. It really helps, and I'll share them with you guys as well because you couldn't read them.
Yeah.
They were really nice in the comments, so just so you know. If we want to find you, if we want to share your journey or follow your journey, where can we follow you?
Oh, well, I don't think that's a tough question. I mean, we are live from here and we have our beautiful name, our beautiful platform, Ethereal. So you can find on both Instagram and TikTok. We have amazing content. You do not want to miss it, so go follow. You won't regret it.
100%.
Well, amazing. Then we'll end it with that. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you
You
so much
too,
for having
Queen.
us.
Bye.
Bye bye.